You walked away without a fight, like love was easy to erase. No shaking hands, no last goodbye, just empty space. I stood there holding everything you said you couldn't keep. All the weight, all the blame you left with me. I kept the truth you never faced. I felt the silence call my name. You closed the door, I stayed inside and felt the pain. I stayed when you left. I felt every step. You ran from the truth. I lived with the mess. You chose your escape. Learned the sound of quiet night, the shape of empty days. I learned how strong a heart becomes when love walks away. You found your peace somewhere else. I stayed and paid the cost. I buried hope in maybes and learned what we lost. I blame myself for being real, for feeling more than you could feel. You said you needed space to breathe. I almost disappeared. I stayed when you left. I carried the weight. I held every promise you couldn't maintain. You ran from the truth. I stood in the wreck. I stayed when you left. Oh, one day you might look back and finally see what loving you did to me. Not bitterness, not regret, just scars that prove I didn't quit. I stayed when you left, and I survived. Even when loving you cost me my life. You walked away. I faced the test. I stayed when you left. I stayed when you left, and I'm still here. You walked away without a fight, like love was easy to erase. No shaking hands, no last goodbye, just empty space. I stood there holding everything you said you couldn't keep. All the weight, all the blame you left with me. I kept the truth you never faced. I felt the silence call my name. You closed the door, I stayed inside and felt the pain. I stayed when you left. I felt every step. You ran from the truth. I lived with a mess. You chose your escape. I chose the dead. I stayed when you left. survived. Even when loving you cost me my life, you walked away. I faced the test, I stayed when you left. I stayed.